Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you happen to be watching this. Risco in Tokyo coming at you with some more dreams. We're doing dreams. I gotta give me a second. I gotta go to my channel. The other mode is that the box is too tiny. Can't see what's going on with the box. So gotta fiddle fuck around with all this shit. There. Yes. Hello. Good. Welcome to Dreams. Or something. I don't know. It's been one of those days. I feel like the sound settings are just all over the room. I know, right? Quill, how you doing tonight? I hope that life is treating you pretty okay. Alice as well. I hope that life is treating you okay as well. That you are not, either of you, receiving any more shit than you feel like you can deal with. Okay, I can hear the music in the space again. I think should be able to play the Oh, absolutely, Alice. Take the floor. Or if you want to wait for more folks to show up and take the floor then, but either way, by all means, feel free to talk. It sounds like a good plan, but yeah, just whenever you got when you got a thing that you want to say, just let us know that you want a little bit more attention so that we can wrap up any other conversations. And yes, oh gosh. Well, I'm keeping I'm building up my stock of anger early with that warning. Quill said I'm okay. Had a cover for the manager and some kids were awful brats. The kids, why they gotta be the kids. Hopefully not like injuriously awful. I'm gonna hope that, like, nobody ended up bleeding. Or at least nobody ended up bleeding who didn't deserve to be bleeding. I saw one do a flip when he tripped over the kid he was in the process of bullying. What kind of 80s after-school special bullshit is that? So this kid is like... He's given some other kid guff, and then I assume at some point the other kid ended up on the ground, and then he tripped over the other ground of the kid, did a flip, and then he blamed the kid for tripping him. What? Children, honestly. Des, you did make it on time. It is wonderful to see you tonight. I hope that you are doing relatively well. We're going to be trying to take a look at the Dreams Halloween pack. I think. Like, I think it's still up. I don't think that they've taken it down yet. I hope not. I'm going to be kind of salty about that. I leveled up. How did I level up? I never play this game. But with hopes that not any more stress than you've already had going on. It seems like you've had more than enough stress going on in your life at the moment, Des. So hoping things have gotten a little bit more copacetic. I had a little cry this morning as Gambit stopped eating. He won't even take food from my hand anymore. Oh, Des, I am so sorry to hear about that. Okay, Quill, I'm glad to have you here at the, even a little bit of time. It's always a pleasure to have you here. It seems a bit unusual to have somebody sleeping on the couch behind you, but hopefully that's, like, the fun kind. Like, there was a raucous party, and then they passed out on the couch. Bruh? Is it dead? I don't know, mate. How is this our problem? Okay, so we've got some saucy fruit. A banana and or an orange. At least that's how it's claimed. This is not a healthy looking orange though. Someone's snoring and she's upset kind. Gotcha. Also, that sucks. Des is trying to get him to eat, but he won't. I'll be reaching out to my vets and home service for euthanasia rather than the vet's office. That's a lot. That's a lot to process, yeah? Alright, we've got a dirty banana and we've got a dirty orange, and they're saying that we look messed up. You know what? I'm gonna, these fruits don't have to be ragging on me like this. I feel some kind of ways about that. Are we monstrous? Is this what you're trying to tell me, Media Molecule? Because like I feel that way all the time. Oh, SJ, how you doing, yo? It is a pleasure to see you in chat tonight. I hope that life is being very kind to you and is not giving you any more stress than you feel like you can deal with. We're kind of just processing a lot, basically. Des is looking at options, thinking to do it at home so his brothers can be there. But I'm just getting on with it day by day. That's about the best you can do with it, Des. This is pretty fantastic looking, though. I've got to give it that, even if it's very rude to me. Oh, it actually talks. My headset is for garbage, so sometimes I can't actually hear. Alice says, going to get my computer again today in the morning. I'll keep my toes crossed that the computer actually works this time, Alice. And SJ says, doing okay, woke up in the middle of my sleep, so I may roll back to sleep, but I figure I'd hang till then. You are welcome for as long as you feel comfortable staying, but if you feel like you can get back to sleep, please put the meat suit first. As pleased as I am to have you here, I'd much rather that you were, like, actually attending to the body's needs. I don't know why this dude is welcoming me to the land of lost dreams. I flippin' live here. I'm already paying rent. Alright. Escape the land of lost dreams. That seems like a simple enough quest. We can do that. It does look really good. I mean, it... Gotta kind of keep in mind that this is done by Media Molecule themselves, so they've got, like, the full package to work with. I know that it's all done, like, in-game editing. But, you know, they're trained and paid to do this kind of work. It looks nicer than the last set that they put out, but so far either on par with or a little bit under Art's Dream. I really liked Art's Dream a lot. I found that very charming. It had a pretty nifty style to it. Now, I don't know precisely, like, what all this is going to be. Like, if it's going to be platforming, or if we've got, like, a semi-pseudo role-playing type of deal. Hopefully it's not more than 3 hours long, because I'm not going to come back to Dreams probably for another month. What? I mean, they're calling me a flesh beast? This game, they got some spine on them. This is no place for the soft, the weak, the spongy. You make my skin crawl. I am gonna, like... I'm kind of creeping up to losing my shit. Alright, so we need magnoids. I don't care. They're little collectible thingies that we gotta get for this thing to move on with our quest. It's just how games work. Magnoids find metals, work needs metals, forest needs work. Start over there, hands off the metals, meat stick. Fuck off! Floppable! Wonderful to see you, Floppable. I hope that you're doing very, very well tonight. Floppable, I listened to Vile Creature finally, and they were very good. And the fuck off wasn't directed at you, that was directed at the game. The game, I feel, is being very rude to us tonight. I like them. They were very good. I don't know if they're going to be in a regular rotation for me, because I have trouble, like, following the lyrics. But I did really enjoy the music. Oh! I'm glad that you both were here in chat at the same time. And I don't, are you a magnoid? Like, you appear to be magnoid-esque. Oh, Automod, are you being a jag again? Thought Grind's new album also came out recently. It's very, very good if you want extremely trans cyber grind. I'm gonna put that into the YouTubes right now, not to listen to, but like so that I have the search saved, because otherwise I'll forget. Because my lamp isn't working anymore, so I can't write any notes. Thought Crime. Fabulous name, by the way. I will indeed, Quill, and it was wonderful to have you here, even for a little bit tonight. Get yourself some good rest, and don't take any guff from the person sleeping on your couch. Perogion. Am I pronouncing that right? Perogion? Welcome to the chat. We just started up the Dreams Dilly Bobber. Oh, but you've been here before, because you didn't have like a first time speaking notification on your thing, so that means that I'm screwing up your name twice, and I hate that. Oh, did we get a magnoid? We got a magnoid. Pierogi like the food! Yes! That is exactly what I was thinking. Because I spent a lot of time living in Milwaukee, and we did like our pierogies. I haven't had a pierogi in like going on 20 years now, and I hate that. I hate everything about it, because pierogies are good. They're good, actually. I hope that you're doing wonderful tonight. It's a pleasure to have you about. With luck, life is not giving you any more stress than you feel like you can deal with. That seems like life's whole gig is just being a stress delivery device, and I kind of hate that, honestly. Alright, we need one more magnoid. And my name was Pierogi Boy. But I changed it to gender neutral after reading up on gender theory and coming out as non-binary. Well, I was going to say welcome to the team, but I'm not non-binary, and I don't know if you consider yourself trans, because I know not all non-binary folks consider themselves trans, but welcome to Club Queer, maybe, unless you were already a member. I don't check anybody's cards, so... Oh, that was lovely. You can now travel the Land of Lost Dreams using the Gulp. Find Gulp heads to unlock new locations. I was already a member. Not only... Wait, what was the... Now I'm trying to think of like the hair club for men. The old commercials. like I'm not only the president but a member, something like that. It's been ages. Even farther than since when I last saw a pierogi was when I last saw one of those commercials. Um, Shaking my head. No made cinematic masterpiece. Freddy vs. Jason in Dreams. Wait, I mean somebody must have made Freddy vs. Jason in Dreams. I can't imagine that that hasn't happened yet. Sorry about the cough. I like using weird descriptions to describe gender. Mine's like a magical girl in black metal corpse paint. I mean, that's the best kind of magical girl. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, Bob Wire and Broken Glass, I think is a pretty good gender set for me. It feels very comfortable. Maybe toss some Amber in there and like call it a day. It's a fine movie that doesn't live up to the idea. I mean, it has. There are definitely points in Freddy vs. Jason that like work really, really well. The early Jason bits, I think, except for Jason's look. Jason's look is pretty pants, honestly. Like, Jason's look is really pants, so that's not so great. But, wait, didn't I just come from here? But, like, when it doesn't work, it really just doesn't work. I really hate the Jason Mewes character. And, the whole, like, Freddy the Caterpillar. Wait, new Jason News? Oh, is that, like, the prequel TV show? Because I saw some folks talking about the prequel TV show, but I don't, like, really... What do you even do? What do you even do with the prequel to Friday the 13th? Like, the kid drowns, and that's it? Can we stop talking to this? I guess we can. I'm just gonna go away. Like, he's not worth my time. Wait. They don't have the rights to Jason. Just the Friday the 13th IP. So, like... What? Are they gonna do, like, the Friday the 13th, the old TV show, where it's, like, the two cousins and their avuncular grandfather, chasing down cursed artifacts? Because that TV show was kind of a lot. But, like, I thought... I mean, the whole thing with Friday the 13th, Alice... and this is just, like, you... I'm not against you, but just kind of to the point that you're saying is, like... Jason's mom wasn't a killer until Jason died? That was the gimmick? I thought? It's a silly Child's Play Chucky situation where one studio owns Child Play, but Don Mancini owns Chucky. Got it. And, Progion is saying maybe they're gonna go for a Norman Bates vibe where they explore a really messed up dynamic with a disturbed person. I mean... You're probably right, Pierogi. I just kind of hate it because I don't think that it's going to go in any good direction. So you remember the Child's Play remake with an evil doll named Buddy, played by Mark Hamill? I do, and it was not terrible. It was not terrible. It was okay. Mark Hamill does carry it. Okay, so I gave you the magnoids. What is your gimmick now? Can we go? If I just fuck off over here. I gave you them. Did I not? R2 and your imp to drag things. Got it. It's still a fucking crime that the original Yakuza dub wasn't successful. We missed out on more Mark Hamill Majima. That I whew. Mark Hamill as Majima, I really don't know how I feel about that. Glorious Magnoids, and your sloppy organs are still working. Interesting. That reminds me, I've got something human in the trunk of the car. Come and see it. You can have it. Are you gonna open up the boot? Would you stop, like, focusing on my meat? Game, okay, look, some folks have issues with their meat and don't need it pointed out by a game freaking constantly. I know all the characters are made out of metal, and that's the joke. However, it's starting to get on my tits. He's just doing the Joker voice in his Yakuza 1 dub. I hate that! It's a painting of a book with no words, not even worth melting down. Enjoy. Wait, I thought you had a corpse in the boot for me. You lying asshole. They insult me to my face, and then they don't even give me a corpse from the boot? I mean, you're okay, Alice, you're not wrong. Majima is a Joker type, but like Mark Hamill's Joker voice is very much like a 1930s, 1940s kind of gangster movie vibe. And like, I mean, I know that Majima's a gangster and he's Joker adjacent, but like it's very much I don't know really how to describe it, but like Joker's voice to me is very much like broad lapels, big shoulders, like a goon. Oh, Melon, it has been forever. I hope you're doing very, very well. These visuals are wonderful. Like, Media Molecule definitely banged it out of the park with the visual presentation. I am getting a little bit annoyed by the joke of it, but it's very much the way that it kind of interacts with my own particular issues. That's not on Media Molecule, but the Yakuza 7 dub does have George Takei. Now, like, this is a weird question, and I hate it, but like, whenever I've heard somebody say his name, it's George Takei. But when I look at it written in Romaji, my brain meats want to say George Takei, because the EI, and I honestly don't trust myself enough to say which one I think it is. Melons is doing very well, and how are you? Mostly well. I'm employed again, which is good. Employment is good. Yeah, that's basically it. Like, I'm employed. Okay, so it should be Take. This is good. I don't really have any big news recently, Melon, which, I mean, is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, because I don't necessarily have any bad news, but, too much time studying the kana makes my brain do otherwise now. Like, that's the thing, is, like, I've got, like, old habits from just reading things and not knowing any Japanese at all, and kind of clutching it into what I would have thought at the time was how something should be pronounced, but now knowing how it should be pronounced, and those two things, like, kind of ram into each other. Honestly, I hate Romaji. I would much rather just have things in kana or kanji, because then I know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Flopple says my judgment also leads me to breaking the same toe twice in 1 year tripping over a cat. Look, cats are deadly. I mean, unless I don't think that's a judgment problem, really. I think that's a cat problem. Same reason why I can't say karaoke when I see karaoke now. I mean, that's a mood. Saki, when I went back to visit my family the first time, so I'd been in Japan at that point for probably, I think, only 4 years the first time that I went back to the States to visit, but long enough to know basic pronunciations. And yeah, everybody in my family saying Saki, and I just wanted to kind of scream. Alice says, want to start Japanese, but I'm scared to be honest, learning it because of the 3 writing system thing. It's honestly, Alice, it's not as bad as I think people like to make it out to be. It's a lot, don't get me wrong. It's definitely a lot, but the 2 phonetic sets are kind of easy to keep separate. Or yeah, I mean, no, I think it's not even just a me thing. I think it's relatively easy to keep the 2 phonetic sets separate, the hiragana and katakana. Flobble says, but my judgment got me that particular demon cat. I mean, but I'm sure that aside from the broken toe, Floppable, that this demon cat has just brought oodles of love into your life, and without pain, could we truly know pleasure? Without heartbreak, could we ever know love? Actually, says, I got a shoji screen from my apartment, and my very Jamaican aunt insisted on calling it a Shogun screen, especially when I said, that's not what it's called. Oh my god. I love it. I love it, but I feel so bad. Without pain, could you truly know pleasure? Spoken like a true Cenobite. It's true. I got a whole Cenobite costume kitted up, and it's my skin. Hiruna says, without Columbo, would we never be able to have one more thing? Yes, Hirunda. Wait, maybe? I don't know. See, because, in the Jackie Chan Adventures cartoon series, Jackie Chan's uncle/grandfather, because I don't really remember the relationship between the characters, but he did a whole, Columbo pastiche. But could his pastiche, exist without the original Columbo? Question. Actually says I agree. Hiragana and katakana take a bit of work, but if you take your time, it's workable. I mean, I learned hiragana, katakana, my most basic grammar, and my first chunk of everyday kanji over whiskey shots at a pool bar. Just sitting with a workbook, copying things out into a workbook, while the bartender fed me shots, because he thought it was funny. And apparently I retained it, so, if I, with my brain meats, could do that under those circumstances, Alice, you could get it sorted. I mean, if you wanted to. I wouldn't force you to sort something that you weren't prepared to get into. He didn't just started watching Columbo. Why is it so damn good? It's really fun to watch. Peter Falk is amazing. was amazing. I mean, because he's passed on. Uh, in real life, all cops are bastards, but I mean, Columbo is highly entertaining. Peter Falk playing off of well, playing off of almost anybody, because like he just pulls a good performance out of basically everybody in that show. But him hamming it up with William Shatner is certainly a thing to behold. Now, I can't remember, Hirunda, were you already a fan of the Rockford Files? Because I know that we had a Rockford Files fan here, and if it wasn't you, then I would recommend Rockford Files after Columbo. Okay, we can throw Snorespores. Alice is the Rockford head. Then that's another one that you might enjoy, Hirunda. It's definitely a different vibe than Columbo, but of that kind of like late 70s, early 80s detective shows, it's a good one. It's enjoyable. How do I access my menu? That is not how I access my menu. I kind of... Wait, I just did it. I hate this. Alright, we're gonna knock out this cone because this cone can apparently manifest dreams, which I think is pretty unfair. Columbo episode with Johnny Cash. God, I don't remember that one. I mean, Hirunda, you're not wrong. Why? This feels like... I feel like I'm playing King's Quest. With all of the moon logic that King's Quest entails. NCIS was on a lot when I was small. It's... yeah, but Abby is still very pretty. Abby is the, like... The prerequisite made-for-TV goth, if I recall correctly. Because I've seen, I think, all of 3 episodes of NCIS, and she was very striking, and I definitely remember her. NCIS was on usually after Bones, but while we would be like drunk enough to sit down and actually watch Bones, usually by the time that NCIS came on, both Honey Bunny and I would be too drunk to actually pay attention to it anymore. It's a first-person click adventure. It kind of is, Hirunda. But I haven't done like that style of logic puzzle in a game since Day of the Tentacle, and that's I mean it kind of takes a bit to get your brain back into that mode of thinking. I mean we're very much in light bulbs in sealed metal cans territory. I'll make gimcracks of your gizzards if you don't... Wait, is that supposed to be gimcracks or gymcracks? You won't have to solve many puzzles going forward, it's mostly a showcase. Okay, I gotcha. I'm gonna glare at this motherfucker. Udin says, I think it's my favorite non-conventional subgenre of video game. It's chill but with light puzzling. It's definitely like... Sorry, brain meat's like just seized up there for a second. I think it's a really good genre, but at least in the ones in my memory, there's like a very particular style of puzzling in those games that bears little relation to the real world. And I feel like if you're doing a lot of those games, then it's kind of easy to get into that thought process and noodle out those kinds of puzzles. But after some absence, then it can take a bit. Fubble says, thank you, my mom's cool and got me into metal, progressive politics, and gore movies. Your mom sounds awesome! So explaining the black metal episode of Bones went down perfectly okay. But yeah, having to explain Mayhem to your family. I mean... Oh, wait, no, that's maiming. That's, like, completely different. Floppable, have you seen Biotherapy? Because I haven't watched Biotherapy yet, but I'm going to watch it after this stream, and it looks amazing. Like, Japanese 36-minute gore fest. I think there's a time travel subplot. It looks like a fucking mess, and it's on YouTube for free. I'm very excited about it. Also, Alice, I don't think I saw the JFK episode of Bones. Unless that's the one where the British guy gets shot, which was awful. Hedonist says, I mean, the games that come to mind from that genre are like surrealist painting come to life. That's fair. I should sit down with Grim Fandango one of these days, because I do have Grim Fandango, and I don't know why I never got around to actually finishing it. They're asked by the FBI to see who really killed JFK. It was Oswald. Wait, but I got a thing. I should warn you, my deck is pretty hot in the current meta. I hate this. I hate this. Look, if we're not playing Vitez, I don't give a fuck. Can I take a +1 stealth action to bleed? Now you're just making shit up, dude! What is even happening? Wait, that's not from Condomania? I thought that was the mascot from Condomania. Oh, maybe he's got a spin down die. Dude, what the fuck just happened? Why did you do this to me? To whose benefit was any of that? Nice sock, though. I'm jumping on the table. See if I won't. This does nothing for me? I think the condominium shop in Osaka closed, but I think they might still have the mural up on one of the buildings. Gloom, Mages of Carnage. Press X to magic. Please do not steal. I worked really hard on this. That feels like something out of an LVP level. Oh, this is nifty. Well, why are they calling me a dork? What? What is any of this? What does this even mean? Did that... It it is just a little bit floppable. Grab's boombox plays Doom E1M1 on Fantasy Instruments. I mean, now, can you play Doom on a lute? I know you can play Greensleeves on a lute, but can you play Doom on a lute? So, what was any of that? Bring out the hurdy-gurdy. Wait, is hurdy-gurdy, is that like a fantasy instrument? I'm pretty sure those exist in real life. Unlike lutes, lutes have never existed in real life. We're now on to community created for us. Okay. So, hopefully they should make a little bit more sense. Hurdy-gurdies are cool as fuck. Oh my god. Look, I know this stream isn't family friendly, but I still feel like that's kind of a lot. And yet, I'm intensely jealous. Fuck you, cat. Furby thing. What are you? Are you a Furby? Nice animation, though. It's hungry, that's what it is. Look, he didn't I don't know what your social studies class taught you, but we learned that Hungary was a country. And as far as I know, not possessed of a vagina mouth. So, like, I'd say that you should take it up with your school board. I kind of feel like that you might have gotten cheated out of a decent education. Being a nightmare Furby cat with vagina dentata is a goal of some variety, I guess. I mean, look, we all have to have goals. Oh, I like this. It's Haro. Harrow? Haro? Harrow. Harrow. You harrow things. It's harrowing. I'm not even going to attempt to sing. I appreciate you trying to get me to do so, but my throat meats are just not here for it. I remember you telling us about the Columbo statue in Hungary, but also a statue of Italian Bene guy Bruce Spencer. Italian beans guy. Wait, what? Hold on. I think this is like a general social knowledge failure on my part, Alice, not yours. Bruce Spencer Italian beans. I need to know the story behind this. Not Bruce Springsteen. I know his gig. No, I don't need it in Japanese. That's not gonna help me. Bruce Spencer Italian Beans? Okay. Now known professionally as Bud Spencer, was an Italian actor, professional swimmer, and water polo player. Okie dokie. I guess? I'm so confused, and that's okay. Oh, fudge. SJ, Automod was being a jerk. Sorry about that. Here's Hato, looks around for that green bastard rolling around, flapping its ears. Wait, what? Sorry I didn't catch that earlier, SJ. That's the one problem with mostly looking at the PS4 overlay. Fabulous dies. I love these. The PS4 as an overlay doesn't... I don't get to see notes from Twitch unless I actually look at the laptop. Bruce Spencer was a comedy actor who played characters that would get powered up by eating beans, like Popeye. I mean... I basically live on lentils, so I'm down with that. I 100% support bean-based power-ups. When you were talking about Hero, you were trying to pronounce... The pronunciation you were trying reminded me of Hado from Gundam. Ah! You know, I have not watched Gundam, and I really should... Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Dal Tadka is my comfort food. It's vegan lentil curry. Like, what I make is usually curry adjacent because I really don't have ingredients besides lentils, but it is quite good. And actually, I think it's vegan because it's only got lentils and spice in it. Lentils are so good, and they're cheap here because there's a ton of like Indian and Nepalese markets around where I live and also around where I work. So I can usually pick up like a bag, like a kilogram bag of lentils for about 350 yen. This is nifty. Now, you know what? I would have appreciated it a little bit more if when you turned around, they had the exit immediately behind you, as though you hadn't traveled at all. That would have been kind of cool. But that was a neat little gimmick. I appreciated that. Lots of Indian food is vegan. It's so good to be able to order somewhere and get things that aren't compromising or imitating, just really good. When I first came to Japan, I've told this story before. When I first came to Japan, I wasn't eating any meat. It's a long story. It's not really a useful one, but I basically lived in Indian restaurants unless I was like cooking at home for myself because it was the only way that I knew I could get like a meal. Because anytime I would go out to an izakaya with folks and they, you know, you look at the menu and there would be French fries, a green salad, or maybe, if you were really lucky, a slab of deep fried camembert cheese. And like that's all that I could put in my stomach as I was drinking. And I would be drinking at the same pace as everybody else, so it just always turned out to be an entire, absolute and utter mess. It's really hard to find vegetarian options in Japan. Like, they definitely exist, and Osaka and Tokyo are good places for them. Kyoto as well, but like, most places that you go for, it's just, they just don't have anything, really. I swear, some places I'm like, I'll just have a serve of chips. Seriously, Floppable?
The Beast of Bovington, that is its name. Find it and hunt it in our new game.
Now, is the Pig Detective like a rival to the Frog Detective? Because I heard Frog Detective was pretty good. I went to hash browns. I went to Dunkin' yesterday and had hash browns and iced tea. I didn't even know they had food at Dunkin' that wasn't donuts.
It is so lovely to see.
Wait.
A house full of ghosts and a wood full of scare. It's all yours to explore if only you dare.
Oh, I dare. I absolutely dare.
You are so scary. I'm so scared. That is
What?
such a great costume on you. Really hides the face. So nice of you to drop by and see our humble attraction.
Everybody's
Take the leadership, please. Don't
every
cause a traffic jam.
fucking character in the game is giving me lip about the way that I look, and you know, I kind of don't need it. As she says, if it helps as far as recommendations go, the newest one, basically a mix of Utna and the Tempest. I've heard really, really good things about that. And if I ever have the attention span to sit down with a series, that would be the one I would want to sit down with. Newest Gundam is good. It's my first Gundam, but my partner's a huge Stompy Robot fan, so they're really happy to be able to share the love of Gundam with me. That is so sweet. It is always a delight to find something that you can, like, click with a partner. Grumpy Pickles 5. Okay. I mean, I like it. I think a lot of this stuff was done with the new sticker material. I guess like the sticker material has really expanded things for Dreams, but I don't know how because I don't know how to create in Dreams. Diamond Yancey. Wait. Hold on a second. Did I like completely did not notice that? I completely did not notice that. Diamond Yancey is they were quite the creator in LBP. I got to take a look at a couple of their levels, and they almost always broke because they were so complex. It's good to know they're still working it. I should look at another one of their levels on the show. It's been ages and ages. Like, that whole era of LBP creators, I always kind of wonder what happened to them. It's very impressive in Dreams, too. Now, I'm gonna have to... See, because I can't write anything down because I can't see anything because everything is dark. You know, apparently I just, like, kind of stole a box of black hair dye today. But not the light bulb that I actually needed for my apartment, so go me. I mean, I wasn't asleep, obviously, because it was before work, but I certainly don't remember doing that thing. Okay, hopefully I'll be able to read this tomorrow. Oh, wow. Those are really fabulous looking cats. Like, no joke. Dang, though. It really is. Like, when... Dreams is such a mixed bag for me because, like... Oh god, Des, I am so sorry. I did not know that these were going to be a thing, and I hope that it's not too much of a thing for you to process. We'll kind of try to speed through this. Can I not pick up that present? This is still Dreams, yeah. Like, when people can actually leverage Dreams for what it can do, it's extremely impressive. But, like, the problem is, or one of the problems is that you've got that whole Sturgeon's Law thing where, like, 99% of the stuff that gets produced is middling to bad, and then 1% is really, really amazing. But I feel like with LBP, because LBP kind of had a standard look and gameplay set to it, the middling and even the kind of bad stuff, like, you could still have fun with them. You could still play them and, like, get something out of a level. where I feel like the middling to bad stuff, particularly like farther on the bad end of stuff for dreams, is just like honestly kind of miserable. Hedonist says, considering Dreams has no mesh transformation like an animated character or dynamic mesh, characters that look that seamless when they move feels like sorcery. I've seen some really impressive animation work in Dreams. I don't know enough of like the technical side of doing that in general to know how sorcerous I should be taking it, but it seems pretty darn sorcerous to me. Hirunda, have you seen the somebody recreated the T-Rex escape scene from Jurassic Park in Dreams, and it's like it's not one-to-one movie quality, but it is extremely high quality, like just absolutely amazing. Oh, Pierogi, thank you actually, because I kind of want to know how the sticker thing works. As far as how the new sticker thing, it makes texturing more thermo-efficient and fast and easy, and opens up new visual possibilities and allows for some interesting visual effects. Okay. So like, how is the stickering different from like the paint that we had before? You may have done. It certainly was making the rounds for a little bit. Hive had shared with me like there was a making of video that the guy had done, and it's really, really, really impressive. L2R2. Am I trying to catch a coelacanth? Oh, I can fish! Like, I can actually fish for the fish? You are not a coelacanth. You are... what? Are you Dagon? My furniture is stuck in the pond, please help me. The stickering conforms to the surface of any sculpture. You can think of it like a coating of snow on the ground. Now that is impressive. Because I remember the, like, paint was definitely not like that. Paint was just kind of like a flat object. Is there more furniture in the pond? Is that it? Thanks, you're great. That's a very low table, my friend. Do you... Oh, it's the table from Breaking Bad. Wait, hold on a second. That was LBP for a second. Why did you turn into Connie? I kind of like that fishing. That was cute. Easy fish 123. This fish with legs, though. That's just a whole... That's a whole lot. It's perfectly chosen. That is an account that tells you exactly what it does. It does not play any games. Now, I'm just looking to see the pegs that are keeping these bones in place, because it's a skeleton, you know, and you know that your skeleton's held together by meat is the thing. It doesn't just like stick together for fun. You, sir, you look like you need a hug. Are you huggable? There's no hug button. You know, more games could probably use a hug button, quite possibly with a consent button. Afroman for peace. I wonder. I mean, maybe not. But I feel like we met this creator. Like, the name is ringing bells. I feel like that they may have dropped into chat. Floppable, I like that. We don't want to have like too many mechanics. We want things like, exactly, streamline the mechanics so that the players aren't getting confused with like button mapping. Okay, so it's the same person. Good, good, good. Yeah, he has dropped into chat a couple of times then. And it is a very nice chap. Like the nuclear launch mechanisms. Wait, I mean, you don't know, I feel like that we might be having different definitions of hug in this case. I mean, I haven't hugged anybody in a while, but my hugs don't generally leave blast shadows. Can I go in the well? Can Sadako come out of the well? Sadako. Now I would do the Warriors quote, but I don't know if my throat meats could handle it, and I don't have any glass bottles to clink. If hugging involves turning two keys, I know how to hug. It could. I mean, if you're hugging automatons. I have, you know, my hugs are very soft and comfy, and people fall asleep on me pretty frequently. That's honestly a skill. I kind of feel like, oh, you're a cool little dude. I like you. Mr. Gribbly Skeleton. Mini dreams coming soon. Now that would be kind of cool if like we could play this diorama inside of another dream. Back in an hour or so, gonna lie down my cats, make a few calls and emails. Des, we will still be here in an hour. Please take your time. And, yes. By all means. Why did that door throw me across the room? That door isn't ajar, it's a punch. What is... Oh, dinosaur skull. I thought these were both eyeballs. Honestly, that would have been fabulous, but... Oh, look at this little gribbler. Just chilling out in the corner. These gribblers. It's a weird slipper in the fridge. Well, I mean, you want cold slippers on a hot day. Eh? Do you want a high five? Oh, fudge. Even the skeletons don't want to touch me. I hate that. Oh wait, can I go into the vastness of space? Game, why do you freaking tease me like this? I would totally jump into that black hole. Game is being a jerk. So, well, how do I get out of here? There's something about first-person stuff, especially it feels like in dreams, where half the time my camera feels way down by my ankles, which is somebody's kink, but it's not mine. P-head. P-head, don't be a tease. If you're gonna give somebody cosmic horror, allow them to jump, like, directly into the cosmic horror. Now we got fast travel again. Does that mean, like, we're not in the collection section, but we're back into a game section? That's, like, perfectly okay, by the way. I'm not gonna complain about that. Just kinda... I'm still kinda wondering what, if any, method they want me to be using to interact with this. Amidst shadows, shrouded in dark, lie whispers of creative sparks, tokens of ideas lost not found, plus other fun stuff we picked up off the ground. Great, we're doing rhymes. It's always, it's gotta be fucking rhymes. I hate it. I can't rhyme to save my life. Look away. So you just change color then? That's your thing? But you're too embarrassed to change color when I'm looking? I mean, I appreciate the logic flex, but at the same time, it's kind of neat that they got it set up so that it knows when the camera's on it or not. Rent overdue, the cat's been sick on the bed again. Unrealistic deadline. Oh, is this like all supposed to be spoopy stuff? So, because, I mean, so here's the thing. I mean, all of this is just like my normal life. They're all haunted trinkets. Gotcha. I really like the unfortunate burger. I support that. Now, like, do these trinkets have any in-game effect? Like, if I pick up a coin, will I get a key drop? Or is that only for Isaac? This one's yours? You made a head crab? That is so fucking cool! We've got an artist. Well, it is very pretty. I mean, the trinkets are all neat. Don't get me wrong. I am loving this head crab. This is a head crab, like, ready to go out to the club. It's got its pincers all up in neon. It's just prepared to go unst, unst, unst. Oh, fudge. It's done. So now, like, I guess this area is something that made, but then all of the objects are things that creators made? Like, these are just creators' trinkets here? I do appreciate the kind of faux SCP thing going on. Like, you wonder why this Xbox? Like, clearly the other stuff, it's quite understandable why it may or may not be demonic. I mean, we've got a Mickey Mouse key, and we know that the mouse is demonic. Oh! Hirunda. Good call. Those who dare set foot beyond, beware spirits linked by a cursed bond. Unfinished thoughts with peculiar traits, massive thumbs up are surely their fate. I don't know about that. I feel like I might not be comfortable with that. Nice environment though. I'm definitely digging on that. I feel like whenever I'm doing reviews, that when I've got nothing else to fall back on, it's always like, oh, but the visual presentation is really nice. Viz Pres, very solid. Environment, 10 out of 10. Oh, they're giving us choices. I hate that. It's a nice rock. I mean, it was. No lie. Can I get out here? No? I love that little, like, Scully dude. Join us, Scully. Join our merry band. We can be adventurers. We can overthrow God with the power of friendship in this gun I just found. Oh, I like you. I don't even know what's going on with you, but I like you. Okay, but then the eyes just kind of like duped out of the skull, and now I don't like you anymore. I'm sorry. Ooh, haunted rain boots. And haunted Pixel Jam characters. I want to know the rain boots story. Are they Georgie's rain boots from It? Okay, this is kind of awkward though, because like I actually want to look at every trinket. I figure the creators deserve that much, but I keep on having to start and stop the elevator. Scavenge from this purgatory. Each object carries with it a story. Essence in every nick and dent. Sculpts of thermo only 2%. Oh, aren't we being twee? Media molecule, please. You don't gotta lampshade it quite that hard, like, we get the joke. We've been here for 14 years. LBP is 14 years old this year. That's kind of a lot. King's Forest of Gloom Trail continues this way. Well, like, wait, did we loop? Hold on a second. Can I see a map? Oh god, I'm old. Please, Pierogi. 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 I'm 40 fucking 4. Like, you might be older than that. But I kind of doubt it, so don't worry too much. Where oh, we're still looking for the council, right? I just want a map. There's a big drop-looking thing to your right with a teethy grin. Those are the fast travels, Hirunda. This guy over here. So, this dude Mar will take us places that we've already been. But like, the king was that dude that we played cards with. I'm just not sure if we're looping around or not, because I have no memory. I need LBP to last another 68 weeks, I think. And then I could get a nice even 300 episodes in Little Bite-Sized Planet, and that would make me really happy. I would be very happy with that. I keep on waiting for Sumo to just kind of pull the plug on it. Nice buggies. That's a lovely dragon. That's a really nice dragon. And a baby dragon! Look at you! Aren't you just the cutest little Dickens? What the hell? Did you just hawk a loogie? Was it a flame? It was a flaming loogie. You just hawked a flaming loogie. It was adorable. I am a fan of the baby dragon. Look, I wasn't gonna touch a dragon. Maybe just like I was gonna coo about it. That's the COO coup, not the overthrow the government coup. Completely different things.
Oh, hey. Hey,
What the
I didn't see you there.
I hate that.
You snuck up on me. It's kind of ironic. We're in this creepy forest, and yet you snuck up on me. Anyway,
I can't hear what this dude is saying.
how you been doing today? Really? Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear how your day went. Anyways, since you're here, how you and me have like a little chat? See, we have a
Could
little bit of
could
a
you
chat
could you speak up?
since you decided to come here.
Maybe take off the echo effect?
My day? Well, my day went fine. Oh,
I guess we're just gonna ditch that dude.
don't leave yet.
I did not like that baby either, Hirinda.
Hey, welcome to my neck of the woods. I'm sure by now you've seen just some really spooky things. So I decided to make I know that I'm known to, make like scary stuff, but I wanted to give you a break, give you something peaceful.
I don't know like what it is about dreams that it just seems like the audio quality is always kind of pants.
Yellow.
I mean, I know part of it is my headset, because my headset is not great, but hey, it's recorded into the DualSense mic. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's better than a lot of the LBP recorded dialogue, so I gotta give it that, but Here lies BMG. Audio importer helps, but yeah, a lot of people use those Sony microphones. They're awful. And the shame of it is like, oh, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. I mean, a halfway decent headset mic isn't that expensive. Like, if you're gonna make a point of doing it, you could probably get a workable headset mic for like probably 25 bucks. I mean, it won't be great quality, but it'll definitely be better than like yelling into your DualShock. The LBP VA is so crunchy I'd mistake it for breakfast cereal. Yeah. There's a lot of crackle and pop in there. Even then, Bluetooth compresses the hecky out of it if you've got your headset hooked up to a DualShock. I should really get like another USB microphone, but I don't know. The last time I went looking for a headset, now granted, like I needed one that night, so I couldn't really like fiddle fuck around and search too much, but I could not find a reasonably priced headset that didn't have an audio jack. Because I used to have like a USB headset that I'd put into the PS4 directly. What an adorable cat. Cat, are you going to become haunted? Are you... I mean, you do have totally black eyes and a black tongue. Is this a Senocat? A Catabite? A cat of nine tails? I guess it's just... It is eerie by inclusion, and it will become eerie by its absence. It's actually a really nice skull. I don't know what's with the puppets, but skull's nice. Horns, not so much, but the skull. What is your gig? Look at you up there. Just chillin'. Oh, I love you. They're praising the sun. There you go. The kitty knows only hate. Except for chin scritchies. Floppable, are you projecting your feelings about your cat onto this cat again? I really don't want to upskirt this evil demonic entity, but I would like a better look at the model. Now, don't feel... It's almost as bad as Control. When I was playing Control and I looked up and realized that I was upskirting one of the possessed bodies, and that was kind of uncomfortable. My partner was commenting on how my cat was a big grumpy angry ball, except he did still begrudgingly accept chin scritchies despite being angry. He wasn't being given third dinner. I mean, do you have a cat or do you have a hobbit?
Hello? 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 Yes.
Yes.
You there, goblin-looking creature. I appear to have trapped myself in this painting.
and I need my spell book to get out.
Nope. Not gonna help
Please
you.
go and fetch it for me. Please and thank you.
I don't know. You sound very English, and I feel like I need to ask you some questions about children's author J.K. Rowling before I'm gonna help you. Now, blink once for yes and twice for no. What? I didn't even ask a question yet. What the fuck was that? What? What was that? You know, you can't be too careful with these people, Hirunda. Oh, I don't know about this this skeleton over here, but I do appreciate this tentacle. Oh, that's fabulous. Can we communicate? Is this purple tentacle? Is this purple tentacle ready to take over the world? Now, unfortunately, I don't have Day of the Tentacle on PS4. I'd have to think a lot about streaming Day of the Tentacle, because I feel like there's probably things that would need to be content warned, because some of the humor when that game came out I don't think is probably aged particularly well. But it certainly was a game. I feel like Laverne's whole thing would probably need a little bit of front ending.
Found it. Now I'll be free in.
Free in what? In the third week of December so we could have tea? You're doing a countdown to your own freedom? What the fuck? Did we just get possessed by a turf? Special gremlins found. I'm not... They called me a gremlin. Should I not have like a 1 out of 10 just for being me? Game, I'm only looking for a little bit of fucking consistency. Okay? That's not asking so much. Spectral gremlin, just me. Right? I bet that's one of them. Can I get up there? Do I have to do a leap of faith? Oh, fuck's sakes. Excuse me. It probably didn't require quite that degree of reaction, but... Wait. Where did you... Oh, we fell. Oh, that sucks. Alright, this is probably going to be one of those hinky deals where I need to look at my own feet. Turf possession is the worst kind of possession. You're not wrong. No, but I kind of feel like if a turf possessed a trans person, they would either be instantly expelled or they would cause like a matter antimatter explosion. I kind of feel like those are the only two options. Are you a gremlin? Yes. Didn't look like a gremlin. Alice! When? when will we have the joy of your Gremlins Ghoulies takes? I am waiting here like you don't even know. Flopple says I think it'd be a reaction not unlike a slug being exposed to salt, but like their actual literal spirit foaming up and dying horribly. I'll take what I can get as long as, you know, there's horrible death. Oh, Christ's sakes. Just give me the gremlins. Why you gotta be like this, game? Wait, how did we... I picked up 2 gremlins and a key, and it tells me we picked up 3 gremlins, so is the key a gremlin? Oh my god, Hirunda! Hirunda, I love that. That's good. That's good. A Poltergeist. Yeah, no, that works. Also, Floppable, that's a total mood. We're never gonna get that freaking staff for Kimari. I hated the secret weapons in Final Fantasy X. They were such a pain in the ass to get. Like dodging lightning, catching butterflies. There was like the jump rope. Wait. Yeah, there was a jump rope thing. Just everything utter pains in the ass. I think the only one I got was one for Blitzball. What is with these things? You look so sad. That's like the saddest looking gremlin ever. You didn't like Blitzball? I don't remember how or why, but somehow I got really fucking good at Blitzball. Like, I just destroyed everyone. World's saddest gremlins. These are not gremlins to make love to. It's been some years though. That's certainly fair. Last time I played was before I came to Japan, so yeah, it's like 19 years. So look, I got these gremlins, is the thing. Is there like an organ grinder that I could put them in and get organs out of? Final Fantasy X was your first FF? Okay. Okay. That's, you know, I mean, it's gotta be someone's. I only feel a little old, but Final Fantasy 1 might have been my first Final Fantasy, and by might have been, I mean actually was. I never played 7 before the remake. Honestly, this is probably some form of anathema, but like, You didn't miss much. Now, I'm not gonna be a hipster and be like, I didn't enjoy Final Fantasy VII or I wasn't impressed by Final Fantasy VII when I played it, because I was and I did, but like, I mean, it's not one that I ever went back to. Oh, for real? That sucks. Now, when you say Mario RPG, you mean like the Squeenix one, right? The like 3/4 perspective one where you had the Pinocchio doll? Oh, that was so good. Alice's 8 is also your favorite, though. I think, like, of the SNES era ones, probably 2, which would actually be Final Fantasy IV, because that was, like, the first one that really clicked for me. Because we didn't get Final Fantasy 1 at all. My cousin and I tried to play it, and we were both too young, and just, we had no context for how that game was supposed to work. But Final Fantasy 2 was like, was definitely, like, that game really clicked with me. I might have had a whole thing for Rydia, the summoner. Out of the PlayStation era ones, the PS1, PS2 ones, probably Final Fantasy 9. That one was my jam. Favorite is 12. The plot is just Star Wars, but which makes Fran out to be the sexy Chewbacca. I mean, I've never played 12, but sexy Chewbacca sounds like a whole thing. We support a sexy Chewbacca. As that one band said in that one movie, Chewbacca? What a Wookiee? Chewbacca! Wah! What a Wookiee! Alice says, if you ever watch Gundam, I highly recommend the podcast, Great Gundam podcast, The Great Gundam. It's two queer leftists talking about Gundam, and it's good. It's Patreon only podcast, but their pods unlock at the $1 tier. The Great Gundam Project. I will keep that in mind. I don't know that it's anything I'm going to jump into anytime soon, but it's good to know that it exists. Oh, this is just like the... This is just the plot from A Shadow Out of Tim. This is the Operation Get the Hell Out of Here song. Shadow Out of Tim is really fun, goofy rock opera about the Yithins, I think they are. The weird Lovecrafty dudes that, like, send their brains forward and backwards in time. Chase away all the ghosts with your flashlight. Tricky ones won't appear until you're near them. Okay. Oh my god, this music is fabulous. Wait, I just said that the music was fabulous. Why'd you gotta go and stop it? Why do you gotta be like that? There we go. Oh, it's a puppers! Look at you, puppers. I don't think we're supposed to put the flashlight into the puppers. It guards the gate to hack. I mean, that seems fair. That puppers is probably too cute for hell. Do you think I could VA an old French lady art teacher? I have no idea. I mean, do you feel like you've got the range for an old French lady art teacher? I don't really think that we've covered that on any of our streams together. I mean, I encourage you to give it a shot. One ghost. One sneaky, eerie, creepy ghost. Where are you? Like, I don't know if I've got a particularly strong conception of what, like, specifically an old French art teacher would sound like. I've known old people. I've known French people. I've known art teachers. But I've never known an old French art teacher. Well, now, where is the final ghost? Why you gotta be like this? We were just discussing this is what always happens. I might actually I should take a break soon. Because we're almost, like, we're at an hour 45, and I haven't had a break at all. So, I might give this ghost hunt a second pass. Oh, there you are. Cool. I'm going to take us to the exit to this section, and then I'm probably going to take a 5-minute break just to do a little bit of stretching. You're very welcome, tree stump thing. Okay. Alice says, also, I was waiting for a couple of other people to show up, but I feel like it's time to talk about the thing I want to talk about. Alice, let me ask you, give me about 5 minutes or so, just so I get one break in, and then I can come back, and I can catch up the thing that you want to talk about. Flopple says, I'm being unreasonably amused by a picture of Masahiro Sakurai's finger being bitten by a cat. I kind of love that. But I'm going to be back. I will be just 5 minutes. Alright, I am back. And Alice, you have my undivided attention? Or, I mean, at least what attention that I don't need for the game? Let me check this. I want to read all of it. So 2 days ago, I was scrolling on my Twitter feed, and one of the Portuguese papers I follow got interviews with my trans healthcare doctor, where again, the cis lady doctor that told me I couldn't change my legal docs because I have a so-called quote-unquote male face, gets praised as a hero for trans people and even dares to say that she's anti-gatekeeping. But most important, so that interview mentions she'd been retired since 6 months, so she did not tell me that she was retired or was going to retire. I mean, I yes and yes. We got 3 sets of fists for fighting, but I want to check a timeline here really quick. Like, did she retire like in the middle of seeing you? So like you don't have a doctor now? 'Cause that's all kinds of fucked up. You saw her, okay, last year, so you saw her pre-retirement, but she didn't tell you that she was going to be retiring. So now are you up shit's creek? Hirunda, thank you so much for dropping by tonight. Please do get yourself some sleep and get those applications filled out. We're gonna be sending you all the luck that we've got. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. We're gonna be starting a new long form tomorrow. We'll see what that's gonna be. So to loop back to Alice and like because wait okay. I'm trying to I'm putting together pieces from things that you've told us in the past just to make sure that I've got everything in one place. Like you did eventually get your paperwork changed, right? Because I feel like I remember you saying that I remember you talking about paperwork before, and I feel like that it progressed. Like that part's sorted. I don't know how I feel about that bathtub bit, so we're gonna leave that undiscussed for the moment. The paperwork. Okay, so urge to fight increasing. So the paperwork was delayed. Because the doctor was being a gatekeeping bitch. But now that doctor's not your doctor anymore. So what does that do to the status of your paperwork? Like, I'm hoping this does not mean that you're starting over from... You're not starting over from square one, right? Please tell me that they're not making you start over all the way from scratch. That's where we start fires. Yes. I mean... These bears. I cannot bear these bears. It has nothing to do since the paperwork has been was delayed for a non-doctor reason. The paper people marked the paperwork to a day that was a holiday, and somehow that's why it was delayed. Okay, I hate that, but that sounds like a bureaucracy thing, so at least it's not a doctor thing. Do I have to kill these bears? But related to her, since promised I was going to get HRT in the middle of next year. Oh, not liking the direction that that's heading. Did we kill those bears? I literally don't know what's gonna happen with that now. That is fucking shite. Is there anybody who can, like, tell you what's supposed to be going on? Because it does seem that you're in a bit of a spot here. And also, as kind of a sub-side question, is DIY a option for you? Like, I don't know what the rules for that would be in Portugal. I'm not even 100% sure what the rules for that are in Japan. Well, okay, so we summon the bears. In theory, I just need to call the transclinic area of the hospital I went to and ask them. Okay, so at least there's a path forward. Seemingly. Ask them about the new doctor and who's replacing them. Wait. See, that's the thing I hate. Ploppable is like, all this stuff is like, if things are working properly, it should work this way. But it seems like nothing is ever working properly. I don't mean purely and only in Alice's case. It just, this seems like a running thread through almost every trans person's experience who's dealing with the system. And I fucking loathe it. It's like we're afterthoughts, even at the best of time. Okay, well, I'm kind of completely lost here. Oh, we got the bears again? Do I have to kill you all again? There's only 5 of you. They said that they wanted 8. There were no extra bears, though. I'm just baffled that I was not called, and I did not get a phone here. All my hospital doctors informed me when they were going to retire, and inform me who the new doctor is. It's literally part of the public healthcare system's code. They're treating you like crap, and this is just not... We do not accept this. Right, okay, so we sacrificed the bears. I would like to kill these bears now. Did we break it? I think we accidentally broke it. So, I didn't get anything besides the newspaper interview is bizarre. Even more, an interview where the lady parades herself as a trans hero ally. That sounds like her standard operating, though. From what you've told us about her the last time, I'm surprised that she didn't, like, give herself a ribbon. Yeah, I mean, that's an absolutely fair response, Alice. Because this is just plain disrespect. Well, I keep on going around in circles here. Do I need more bears? Well, I'm trying to sacrifice these bears. Come on. Yata? Can I go in the box? What is even happening? What the fuck? What? What? I guess? Not even telling you, not having someone immediately help you get care is disrespectful as all hell. It's kind of dehumanizing, and I hate that. Absolutely, yes. That they're not, like, actually following their own basic code and keeping Alice looped in is disrespectful as hell. And, frankly, dangerous. I mean, it's not called care for fun. Well, what do you want me to do, game? We just keep on going in a loop? I mean, we killed the cartoon bears, so that's great, but Flopple says, like, I get that these transfers take time. It took a couple of days for Mom to hear from her rheumatologist clinic when that doctor died earlier this year. That's certainly a reason for a change in doctors. from what you told me, but like, you should have heard from them reasonably within the week of. Well, yeah, and especially because like it it sounds like the decision to retire was known because it was in the newspaper article, you know? So that doesn't seem like something where, like in your mom's case, the doctor died. So that might have taken people by surprise. Alice says she was asked about a panic that was happening where now right-wingers here are doing trans bathroom panic about schools' bathrooms and said, wow, that's bad, which normally is good to see a cis person saying, but also, like, what's the difference between saying you should only get paperwork changed if you have a woman's face and pieces of garbage talking about how talking about, wow, men are entering women's bathrooms. They both come from the same bigotry. Oh, absolutely. Alice, they're absolutely both coming from the same roots. Beyond even the whole, like, quote-unquote woman's face and what that's supposed to be. Like, every woman's got this delicate porcelain doll's face, which is certainly bullshit. I mean, even if you were to say every cis woman is supposed to have that kind of face, because that's not the fucking case. Flabble says that one was very sudden to floodwaters. Holy shit. A retirement's very planned. There's more time to repair, yes. And gods, if you ever want to help with dysphoria, go people watching. Holy hell, do you realize how varied bodies and faces are? A bit of a yes and no on that one for me, Flopple, because, like, it does help with perspective. You're absolutely right. Like, it does help sometimes, like, but on the other hand, like, within the crowd of facial variety or body morphology, like, every now and then, you know, somebody will churn up that is just like, oh, that's total goals. I'll never realize that. And it's like, oh, I just want to kind of crawl under a tree stump now. I people watch a lot because the shop that I work at, like the sidewalk in front of our shop is extremely busy, which is not great because, you know, pandemic. So there's a pretty wide variety of folks who walk in front of the shop, and a lot of times it's positive, like you said, but sometimes it's like, yeah, I do feel like a total troll person. Faces don't have genders. Faces are just faces. For real though, SJ. A realization for me was learning that you're someone else's goal. That's... I'm gonna have to chew on that, Floppable. I mean, in a good way. Like, I feel like that's a really good thing to bear in mind. And I feel like there's truth to that statement. And I want to make sure that I hold on to that. Alice, yes. Alice, yes, and absolutely. There's not even any question about that. Dysphoria is a shit. It's hard to actually sit back and look at yourself without focusing on things you dislike. But someone else is going to see you and go, wow, you're really pretty. They don't have those same feelings towards your body as you do. It's like... I know this, the tone of my voice is the argumentative tone, and it's not that. That's not the feeling that I'm trying to convey. It's just like, I feel like the word like carries that. What you're saying is definitely something that I can see the truth of on an intellectual level, but holding on to that on an emotional level it's tough. There are days that I can externalize it like that, but it's definitely not an everyday kind of thing. I wonder what an ACL is. I don't know what any of that was. Alice, is there anything that we can do beyond commiserating that could help? I know that everybody being as far flung as we are, there's not a lot practically that we can do, as much as we might want to set things on fire, but if there is something, like if you want to hit me up in DMs, if you want more space to talk, which is not to say that you should stop talking now, but just like at a time that's not a stream time, if you feel like you need to talk, like you can hit me up, because you've got me on the Twitters, so you should be able to DM me if you ever feel like you need to. So I'm still somewhat lucky because if I don't get HRT here, I'm moving to Spain soon. And while Spain has its issues with trans people, besides the UK, it has the second most strongest TERF movement in Europe. No shit, I didn't know that. But also it's ranked the second best place in Europe for trans healthcare. That is a fucking weird dichotomy. When you were talking, Spanish TERFs are a whole thing. I did not realize that. You were talking about the house last time, about having a little bit of trouble getting in touch with the landlord. Has that part improved? Have you managed to get the house thing like sorted out?
Pretty cool so far. Looks like you've been going through as well. So, I suggest following me to be safe.
Oh, good. Good. I totally have to go in this cave now, kid. I'm super glad that you got the house sorted. That sounded like it was a whole bit of a thing. When you go up one, you have to take down two. Hold R1 if you wish to skip the puzzle. You will not get the proper ending. Bold of you to think that I would care about the proper ending, but, you know, good on ya. Spanish turfs are like organized in a way UK turfs are not, and also they're bizarre even for turfs. Like, these are the kind of people that, no joking, decided to get into Cats the musical and start making turf cat personas. My brain just kind of blue screened there a little bit. Everybody loves a cat's butthole. Floppable, so they can't be cat buttholes. I mean, I'm only assuming that everybody loves cat's buttholes because, like, there's always a picture on the TL. Someone showing off their cat, showing off their butthole. So I have to guess that's a whole thing. Are you gonna let us out of this, this little dream scene? Okay. I do have to say that this little gallery deal that's going on, I feel like it's a lot better than the last one that we looked at. Like that Dreams Con thing. Because it felt like there really wasn't anything going on with that Dreams Con. Oh, I remember what you're talking about, Floppable, and I remember that they had to, like, didn't they do like a bunch of crunch after the first week so that they could re-release it without the... Oh wait, no, the unreleased cut has got the buttholes. Alice says, but it doesn't get talked about in the Anglosphere because Spain has a, for 2022, low amount of English speakers, and the Spanish sphere is its own thing, but if you're Spanish, Portuguese, or from Latin America, you know. Okay. And they crunched hard for special effects because they didn't use mocap suits. Wait, for real? I didn't know that part. That's a choice. That feels like a whole choice was made. Now this mimic is not kicking our ass, and I kind of feel like that makes it a fake mimic. The director refused to use mocap suits because it hindered the actors or some bullshit. Like, what? Then they had the special effects team animate them individually without that data. And everybody in the movie is animated. I'm just sucking on my teeth. Cause those are like a whole set of choices that someone was paid millions of dollars to make, and they certainly went and did it. Did you just burp at me, Hitler? Did this ghost Hitler just popped out of the ground, belched at me, and then disappeared again. What the actual fuck? Why though? Tom Hooper is a hack. They should have gotten Toby Hooper. Toby Hooper would have done a much better Cats movie. Wait, is Toby Hooper dead? I mean, even if he's dead, that doesn't change my basic, like, that doesn't change my basic point. He is dead. He died in 2017. No shit. Dang. Well, even zombie Toby Hooper would have done a much better job than Tom Hooper. They only had 4 months to do the VFX. Wowzers and or Bowsers. I don't want to look at that spider. Okay, that's a little bit too much. That one's a little bit too much. Not gonna look at it. I'm gonna fuck right off. You know, honestly, I'm having a bit of a thing here, Floppable. Like as a side point to this whole experience, I understand that this is supposed to be like a scary Halloweeny kind of thing, and we should assume certain amounts of Halloweeny kind of stuff, but like I do feel like some of the things in here could have done with a little bit of CW and really only kind of get away with it because they're inexpertly done. Like, there was that bathtub suicide thing that we passed through in the clown house, and it's just kind of there. And it's like, you know, I kind of feel like maybe that would have been something that, like, it didn't bother me specifically, but even still, like, that might have been something they would have wanted to front end. I'm trying to think, you know, the last couple of years I've been trying to put a lot more thought into CWs and making sure I'm kind of hitting them, because my lines tend to be a lot different than other people's lines, particularly when it comes to things like violence and self-harm. So, but I do recognize that those lines exist, and I try to like give people that information. I absolutely did give my partner content warnings before some horror films starring a marathon this year. I'm being a bit more careful about that now. I'm a huge horror nerd, but I'm getting more cognizant of the fact that what I can handle isn't what everyone else can. Floppable, that is a huge mood. That is, like, I understand that really well. Because that's been a learning experience for me streaming. Because my lines are all fucked up when it comes to that type of thing. I remember I was telling a story, thankfully not one of my really bad stories. I generally know well enough that those stay in the box. I'm not that socially incognizant, but I was telling a story and it didn't really seem like a heavy story to me, about a bar fight that I had seen when I was working at the bar, and to have somebody in chat be like, hey, Lisa, could you kind of pull it back a little bit, because it's a little bit much. And like, it really made me step back and think about, you know, what other people are going to be comfortable with, because I don't want folks to be walking into something that's going to be really traumatizing to them in one of my streams. Yeah. I think for our next long form game, we might not need any CWs. I made a flippant joke about my own experiences recently and kind of had it sink in, wow, that's actually a lot, when somebody else commented on, oh my god. Flammable, the number of times where I've told funny funny childhood stories only to get halfway through the story and realize, like, oh no, actually that's pretty fucked up. That's actually not funny at all. I hate it. It's the sock. Right? I don't know. I got all kinds of feelings about that kind of stuff, because it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't be the person that I am without the fucked up stuff that happened in my life, but at the same time it's like, yeah, but we might have been better off. We might have been better people. That's also a possibility. I really like this library scene. This is really nice. I don't know if they're doing anything with it or if it's just showing off, but even if it's a flex, it's a pretty good flex. Spooky library aesthetics are a whole mood. That was one thing that I was really disappointed about when I was doing the demolition job, because the area of the school that we were working on was separate from the library. Some other crew was working on that. I don't know the disposition of like the books and stuff, because most of that was already done before my crew got put on that job. But I would have loved to have wandered around the abandoned school library. That would have been a whole damn thing. The empty science labs were really cool. They were definitely a whole mood. There was no small amount of interesting things to find there. Oh, I wonder if we can... Oh, wait, no! No, 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 no. I want that back. I want that back. It's a book. I could have given the mouse the book. Oh, it's the evil cone thing again. I feel like I screwed up. Wait, but if we can find another one of those mushrooms, maybe we can make the cone thing dream of a book? Wait, did I accidentally jump out of the library? What? What? But I didn't want to leave the library. I was gonna get that mouse a book. Why? Media Molecule, we need to talk. Oh, never mind. Okay, we don't need to talk. Now, we need a handy dandy mushroom. Welcome back, Des. Please enjoy your coffee. We've got about like a half an hour left in the stream. So we should still be here when you get back. All right, now let's go. We're gonna get this evil cone thing stoned, and then it's gonna dream up a book. Crapola, how do we get back to where we were? We were over here? Over here. Okay, cone thing. Now, you want to come up, look at the book. Look at the freaking book. Look at the book. Come here. Dream and die. The mouse will be so pleased. We've done a good thing. We did our one good deed today. And it didn't even involve stealing anybody's organs, which, honestly, when you get down to it, is a little bit disappointing. But there's always tomorrow. Excuse me, Mr. Mouseketeer. I believe I have something for you. Something amazing. Are they? I can't pick it up? Maybe I gotta talk to him first. I have book? I have book. Book for you. Oh? Yes! We've done good. We helped that mouse. That mouse is writing fanfic. It's probably not Sexy Times fanfic, but that's okay if it is. We support mice and their desires for Sexy Time fanfic. Who is this Teddy Ruxpin looking motherfucker? Okay, we got Teddy Ruxpin. We've got the fox from Zootopia's younger nephew. We have Audrey 4 and 5 and a spider pumpkin. You are cute. Yeah, are you gonna lick me? I I don't know how I feel about that. The main thing for Spanish turfs is Spain in the 80s and early 90s was summiting, has something called the Four Waves of Spanish Feminism, which was like the fourth wave of Spanish feminism, which was like a movement that wanted to create a street-level organized anti-consumerism feminism, which, like, the idea is good, but this Spanish version was made by people who were and are extremely bioessentialist and saw queerness as an American idea to destroy women. So this was mostly a fringe thing. They, they thought we had exported queerness? Us? The Americans? World famous for stealing from everybody else? I mean, I'd love to be able to say that it was our fault, but gonna think no. Excuse me? What's Bjorn Borg here? Screaming at me in the blood swamp. Oh gosh darn it, we just went in a circle. Well, I don't caught into that. I don't caught into that at all. Alright, Blood Swamp. We're gonna have Bjorn Borg. Good for him. I don't... What... Floppable, I do not know why Bjorn Borg is fucking with us. I do not owe this man any money.
Hello.
Oh my god.
You look like
You look fabulous.
You should probably take your head. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say take a load. Well, don't be shy. Come on in. I got a show for you.
I would like to see your show. I would like to know what you are selling, my friend. But for years they were going inside non-hateful groups and basically started shaping the discourse inside feminist and other groups like labor union. Oh shit. So in 2015 there were talks about changing Spanish trans laws to make it easy for people to change their legal name and gender, and then all these TERFs started showing up and basically used the positions they made in both media, governments, and street movements to start all-out war against trans people. Fuck! So, but now you had said, Alice, that, like... So you've got the worst TERFs in Spain, but also the second best trans healthcare situation?
Pay no attention to the man behind... Who am I kidding? Never mind. And I was gonna go with no self-promotion this year. And no entity. He's right behind me, isn't he?
Is that Auntie-entity? Because that doesn't look like Tina Turner at all. Wait, was that her name in Beyond Thunderdome? Wasn't her name Auntie-entity? Crumbs. God, now I'm gonna have to check. Oh, good. Beyond Thunderdome is kind of a lot. But I do kind of feel like it has its bits. Even though I hate the fight with Blaster, because that's a whole thing. Like the whole character of Blaster is just a lot, and there's nothing good about it. But the fight announcer that's probably like one of my favorite fight intros in any bit of media. Spain has a big trans movement, and before 2015 TERFs were mostly fringe, so there was some progress made, and because it has big trans activist movements, even with TERFs, some victories were made in the last years. I'm glad to hear that. I'm very glad to hear that. Hopefully there's enough energy in that movement to counterbalance and push back against the BS of the TERFs. It just always makes me really nervous when you hear about not just TERFs being TERFs, but TERFs being TERFs getting into positions of power. Because it's one thing if you got like name bunch of numbers yelling at you on Twitters, and that sucks. But it's a much bigger deal when they're quietly making laws. Although I don't know that they can do really anything quietly. It seems to be one of their failings. Okay, you're fabulous, sir. I'm not gonna run because I kind of love you. I think this might be my... No, you disappeared! You were my favorite thing this entire thing except for the book mouse. Oh, you are such a jerk. You tease. They tease. We better be finding an exit to this, like, relatively soon. 'Cause we're almost to the 3-hour point, and... even though I don't have work tomorrow, I don't think that I can push this out forever. Also, like I mentioned before, the UK has areas of it that... give me a second here. UK has areas of it that composed of minority groups that are like non-Spanish, and in those areas, because they don't get to be associated with the Spanish because of like these are imperialized people, and because Spanish TERFs are mostly middle-class women from Madrid, they're seen in those areas as just another arm of Spanish imperialism, which they are. Okay. So it's hard for them to export, I guess? So there are less TERF areas of Spain. Ah, yes. Okay, I get it. I cannot climb that ladder. I hate to just buzz through this scene, but like, I'm, I'm kind of. Wait, did I get stuck? Did I get stuck on this ladder? Oh, Uso. Uso! Oh my god. I actually got... I've been bested by geometry. I hate this. I'm hitting all the buttons. It's not letting me go up the ladder. It's not letting me get off the ladder. They've tried to export, but they failed because they don't care about those areas and can't even speak the language these areas speak. So they just try to make fake groups with Google Translate names in like Basque, and everyone in those areas knows as a front. Oh my god. They're astroturfing. I hate that. Folks, I think I might have bricked it. I might have accidentally soft-locked us. I'm not even like... I can rotate the camera, but I can't like get any jiggle of movement. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Ah. You know what? I'm not even angry. Not even angry. I feel like, honestly, like, I feel like this might have been a little bit overstuffed with stuff. I think that's really cool that it was a big community thing and all of these different creators and teams got to make their own little areas and everything. But, I mean, we've honestly been plugging away at this for almost 3 hours, and it doesn't feel like there's been any indication like that it's winding down. So, I mean, it's kind of like going to a convention and there's just like so much. You get just kind of a bit exhausted at the end of it. But I like some of the stuff. Even some of the community stuff I thought was really, really good. I like that wild skull that we saw a couple of rooms back, I think. I feel like the subtitling might have been a little bit too blinky for folks. It might have been hard on some folks' eyes. But the effect was really cool. The sculpting on it was really nice. The stuff that MM put together was really, really good. It also felt a little bit like a flex to have it moved, to have it mixed in with all the stuff that other creators have done, but, you know, that is the nature of the beast sometimes. But, yeah, what a weird thing. I think I'm gonna be happy to just kind of put Dreams on the back burner for a couple of months. Just let it set for a while. But that's okay. Now, tomorrow we're going to start a new long form. It's a mystery, because I haven't made my final decision as to what it's going to be yet. But I don't think we're going to do it. It's not, whatever we're going to do, it's not going to be like a real heavy game. Because I feel kind of like I want something that's a little bit not that heavy for just a couple of weeks. I think would be nice. And then next week we'll go back to the regular schedule of LBP on Fridays and long form game on Monday, Thursdays. Something fluffy, yeah. Like I feel like I feel like I've had to say this a lot like the last couple of years, but life feels like it's a lot for everybody right now. And I'm glad that there's good stuff that's mixed in with the crap, but Tearaway, I've been thinking about doing Tearaway, Alice, but my only problem with Tearaway is that it's very chonky. Like, I feel like the pacing gets kind of out of whack around the 4th chapter, and the last chapter is really good, but it feels like just a little bit too long. But I don't know that we'll do Tearaway this time, but I really would like to do Tearaway one of these days. Because I've played it before, and Tearaway is really good. Tearaway is, yeah. It's a shame that didn't, it feels like that didn't quite get the eyes on it that it deserved. I wish I'd had the chance to play it on Vita, because I feel like it really leverages. It really did, though. Floppable. I don't know if that's a Sony thing. Like, I feel like MM just gets done dirty by Sony. I may not be particularly pleased with Dreams, but I recognize Dreams for what it could be. But, like, I feel like Sony never really realized what they had with LBP. And I don't feel like they realized what they had or could have had with Tearaway. I remember, like, there's bits where, like, right, like, you could kind of touch the back touchpad to make your fingers pop up in the screen itself. It literally shows you the actual real world of the Vita camera while you do that. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. Like, even on... I kind of felt the same way about Gravity Rush. Like, hearing people's experiences with Gravity Rush and with Tearaway, like, on native Vita, I was very impressed with how they turned out on PS4. But they sound like such a thing natively on Vita. Vita was like never in our... When Vita was a thing, it was never in our budget. And I've mentioned this, I feel like I've mentioned this on a stream recently, but I've always had like really bad luck with handheld consoles. Like, I've never really... I've had a lot of handheld consoles, but I've never really gotten into them. And I don't know why. Switch came the closest. I loved playing Splatoon, even on the handheld. And I would even play Splatoon at work. I think for me, like... a lot of it is like screen size and real estate. Because when because I'm old, like, I had the Game Boy, I think I might have had a Game Boy SP. I had a cousin's used Game Gear, and they were all like really big and heavy and difficult to focus on. PSP was a little better, but I got PSP over here, and there was no localization for games. So, a lot of the games that I liked playing, it was kind of difficult to get into them because they're very text heavy. At least, like, by the time Switch came around, like, the screen was nice and big. The screen was beautiful, too. Like, just a super sharp, clear screen. And not everything, but a lot of the games on Switch were localized. Like, Splatoon 2 wasn't, which was unfortunate, but because the Splatfests are kind of tied to region, I can kind of understand why that was. And Splatoon was such an experience that I didn't really mind not getting the story. Yeah, like the Splatfest, the topics of the Splatfests, I think they may have overlapped sometimes, but there were definitely like some Splatfests that were specific to Japan. So I think that's kind of why that was, but like, Breath of the Wild was localized. Mario Odyssey was localized. All of the indies games that I picked up were localized, which isn't always the case. That's something that's been much more common in the last 5 years or so, but like, I remember when I started getting, like with PS3, even games that were made by American companies, when you'd pick them up off the J-Side store, a lot of times they didn't have localization options, which was really weird. Like, I have the J-Side version of Binding of Isaac, because of course I do, and it has no English options on it. I ended up getting the US store version because the J-Side version never updated past Rebirth. But yeah, I was like, Binding Isaac, the Japanese localization was the extra. And they actually stripped out the English localization, or like the English option for the J-Side version. Ninty embraced worldwide release hard this gen. I love it so much. Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. Like, it's been much better now. When you go on the PSN on the J side now, like, it'll list the languages that are available, and almost invariably, if there is an English option for the game, it will be available. But also, like, there'll be French localization, there'll be Mandarin localization now. Like, those were never a thing. The weird thing, this is super weird, but way back on PS2, the only games that I found that had full localization on PS2 on the J side were Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 3, and Silent Hill 4. Because the dialogue was already in English, and they just kept the text files. Why? I have no idea. But, like, even other very American-influenced games, like Metal Gear Solid, no English localization. And for, like, J-side games, no English localization. You might have gotten lucky with, like, a fighting game, might have had menus that were in English, but that was rare, and oftentimes it was, like, piecemeal. I remember once, this is I still feel so bad about this. Because this poor clerk, and at the very least, I wasn't an asshole, but I was very drunk. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we had like PtaER. I don't know like if you've got PtaER in Australia. I don't imagine you do, but there's a video rental shop that had like a bookstore and a video game shop like all in one building, and it was kind of close to a bar that I was drinking at. So I was coming home from the bar at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and Metal Gear Solid 3 had just come out. Snake Eater had just come out, and I'd really wanted to play it because I'd really liked Metal Gear Solid 2, which had come out before I came to Japan, and I'd remembered that Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4 had English. And here was my brain process drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, okay, Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4, very American stylized games, very, born in American media ecosystem, made by a Japanese company, Konami. Also the creators of Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid, very heavily American influenced. Ergo, if Silent Hill's got localization, surely Metal Gear Solid will have localization. So, I went and explained this idea to the clerk, completely drunken, in my Japanese. At that time, which is like 15 years ago, Oz Kettlebot! Yeah, we're telling one last story, and then we're gonna be wrapping things up. But diagrams were necessary, and this poor clerk actually went and opened up a new copy of Metal Gear Solid 3 to pop in the demo PS4 that they had. That would play like the demo discs when you would come down the escalator to actually, they would do the advertisements. And went through like the load up and to get into the first menus to search for if there was an English option in there, which of course there was not. There was not. And of course I didn't buy the game because it had no English. And I felt like the biggest, whitest piece of shit in the entire fucking world. That was a bad night. That was a worse result than the night that I spent like the entire night on E, the party E, not the girl juice E, trying to find a copy of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Good times, good times. Let me catch up what I missed before the clerk was fabulous. Like, they were super cool about it. And at least, like, they pretty much... I went to that shop all the time, so they kind of knew me, but... Which, made it a little bit worse. Let me check. Allison said earlier, Nintendo weirdly is one of the big companies that doesn't do Brazilian Portuguese localizing. That's really weird. SJ says, can confirm the absolute state of English menus in Japanese fighting games back then was a mess back then. Kettle, I'm super glad that you did catch us, and it's lovely to have you here, even if it's only for a couple of minutes. SJ says, source, I did get some Japanese only releases for some games in like the PS3, Xbox 360 era. The fact that the PS3, you could play like discs out of region because they were Blu-ray was so great. And when I got married, my wedding present from my parents was a copy of Silent Hill Homecoming. Wait, no. Yeah, it was a copy of Silent Hill Homecoming and a copy of Dead Space. Did I see the most current thing that you retweeted? Alice, I don't know if I did, but I will check after the stream. And I think that catches us up. This was a weird one. It's so cursed. I gotta find out then, Alice. Oh, before I go, for Floppable, let me quick put in a link for biotherapy so that you can find it easy. Let me get that like super duper quick. With the English subtitles, no less. It's only 36 minutes long, so don't worry that it's a really short video. Copy link. Now, I haven't actually looked at this yet, so hopefully it's not going to redirect you to some, like, free movie site, because that would be bullshit. But, the game that we're playing, or the... Because the thing I'm linking right now is a movie. Japanese, like, gore horror. Thank you so much, Kettle. And we're going to be back tomorrow, and we're going to be doing a new game for a long series. I haven't made a final decision as to what it's going to be. This is Dreams. Unfortunately, we got stuck. Dreams is a... It's really like a game-making kit. It's done by the same folks that do Little Big Planet, but it's a much, much more robust game engine, game creation engine, with all the good and bad that entails. Some of the stuff, like really high-quality stuff in Dreams, is amazing, but the low-quality stuff is extremely cursed. Oh, good. Floppable, that's really, really good. Trevor Henderson was recommending it, so it should at least be an interesting watch. Now, but I should put a ribbon on this stream. Everyone, I had a wonderful time tonight. I know that it was a bit up and down as far as heaviness of conversation. I'm glad that we can do that sometimes. I really appreciate that all of us are here together to give support when somebody's having a bit of a heavy time, and that folks who are having a heavy time do feel like they can share that here with us. But of course, don't feel like anybody is pressured to share if you don't want to. But I'm glad that we've got that space here. But as I always say, please be drinking all the water that you need. Try to get at least one meal in, even if it's trash food, just to have something in your stomach, so that you don't feel even shittier when you wake up. If you've got medications, try to take them as close to schedule as possible, given brain meat function. And remember that there's a lot of people out there that are rooting for you, that want you to have your best life, and I'm only one of those people, but there are a lot more. So, that pretty much does it for us here, this Go About. From me, Risco, here in Tokyo, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you, arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.